All right. I'm Maloney from my MMA News, and I am joined right now by Lenny the Gorilla Rufati. Lenny has his fourth fight coming up in Atlantic City at the Tropicana on September 13th. Lenny, man, you're in the middle of camp. How you feeling, brother? This is like a normal routine for you now. Seems like you've been in camp. You fight, you win, you take a week or two off, you're right back in camp. How you feel?
I feel good, brother. Thanks again for doing this as always. Everything is going great. Weight's good. Injuries are good. Knock on wood. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to go 4-0 with one of the best promotions on the East Coast, if not the best on the East Coast.
Let's do a little background on your first three fights. Now, you got the nickname the Gorilla is because when you think of a gorilla, you think of, somebody that wants to go in there and rough things up. And your first two fights, I thought you pretty much dictated the position most of the fights. You like to make it dirty. You like to make it up, push a guy up against the cage. You like to do your ground and pound. And then in your third fight, I'm going to give you props because you took a fight, last minute change of opponent against Jimmy Drago, a guy who has beaten you when you were an amateur. And he's
3 days notice. 3 days notice they changed. Yeah.
And he like I said, he beat you as an amateur. And in that fight, you wound up winning by, a spectacular knockout. But I want to ask you about that punch because for me, it was almost like an instinctual knockout. Like it came after an engagement along the cage, kind of separated, and all of a sudden, you were right in front of your corner. The look on Ryan Cafaro's face was priceless. You just caught him with a hellacious left hook Lenny. They wanted to change your nickname. Hellacious left hook, one punch knockout. That had to feel good, and that also had to give you some more confidence because, you're working, that you have that grunt style. Now you're stand-up, you're trying to get to that point. Did that kind of give you some more confidence, that knowing that you have that one punch, you can knock somebody out one punch?
Yes. That's not the first time I've done that. I did that in the amateurs 2 times. My amateur debut was a 14-second left hook knockout, and then my second fight in the amateurs was the same exact left hook. I just hadn't done it in a while because I've been wrestling the whole time. But it's good to know I got one hit punch power on the feet, and I can take you down. So I'm happy to know guys are going to worry about, should I worry about his hard-hitting hand or should I worry about his takedown? So you never know. But I'm very lucky to work where I work now at the gym where I practice with some of the best in the world, man, on a daily basis. It's kind of like Harvard University for MMA.
Well, you know what? Every event I watch on TV or I follow, it seems like, Roufusport has somebody fighting in the co-main event or the main event. I mean, just this last week he hurt his foot, but Anthony Pettis, a guy who I'm sure that you have worked with, he came out on the losing end, but, you're still chock full of high-level prospects over there. I mean, Roufusport is clearly one of the top schools in the country, so they're absorbing all that like a sponge, 3-0. Who's over there kicking your ass right now in camp getting you ready?
Well, we got I'm sure a local Philadelphia. He's fighting in 1 week before me in Abu Dhabi. Paul Felder. We've been pretty much in camp together. I've been seeing him every day. He's one of the top 10 lightweights in the world. That's awesome. We got Bilal Muhammad, who's going to also be on Abu Dhabi with Paul Felder. Sergio Pettis is there every day. Rafael Stotts. Emmanuel Sanchez. My brother Emmanuel Sanchez that cornered me the last fight. He's going for $1 million in the Bellator tournament. He just needs to win a couple in a row, and he gets to $1 million. So, man, we're all trying to do some big things here, all in one room. Still unreal to me.
Tell me about your opponent, Troy Green. I think this was your original opponent at the previous Ring of Combat. He was injured or sick or something, and then you took the replacement. We talked about him before. What do you know about Troy?
I talked to Frankie Perez, and he guaranteed me that the guy won't pull out again. The guy's a good guy. He just really, he honestly got sick. I was like, all right. I said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me a second time. We'll see. But he always finds me a replacement anyway. But no, the guy, I know Troy, he looks very athletic. He's a big guy. He never lost in the amateurs. I think he was like 4-0 in the amateurs. He had some kickboxing too, and he's 1-0 pro. Only thing with him I can say is it seems like he fights like once a year. Yeah, as you see, I fight every 3 months. So I mean, I don't know. Let's see what that does. But like I say, he doesn't seem all too technical. He just seems like he's a little bit all around guy and just athletic. So let's see if he can take my pressure. I don't think so, but time will tell.
Well, you know what? The gorilla is a tough apple to bite, man. You know, you got your style, like I said, and I know you're more and more comfortable every place. Let's talk about, you know, besides the fight, you guys see now that you have you got a girlfriend now that she's went. I know she's a badass boxer now. She's training MMA. That's got to help you because you know what, Lenny, between working in your life and then going to the gym, to have someone who has something in common that you can actually spend time with at a place that you love, like the gym, that's got to be, you know, good for you and for the relationship that you like to do the same thing.
Oh yeah, no, I am truly blessed, brother. I'm very lucky right now. I met her literally at work. She came in as a customer. I met her at the restaurant I manage, and that's how we met. Told her, oh yeah, I'm an MMA fighter. She's a boxer. She's an amateur boxing champion. And now she says she doesn't want to stop there. She says she wants to use the rest of her body, not just one punch, two punch. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. She's like, no. She's like, it's my decision. I want to come to Rufus and train there. I'm like, well, that would be amazing, you know. Because I work over 40 hours a week, and then when I'm not at work, I'm training. So it's be you know, a good way to you know, have even more in common with. She's a great girl, man. Nice girl. Works hard. She trains every day. Or just like me, she has a full-time job. She's an accountant. She's an accountant by day and then likes to box at night. I'm not complaining. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got that support, especially during the weight cut. You know what I mean? Because that's when
she's meal prepping for me. Oh man, she's awesome. I don't know what the catch is. We'll see.
she's caught you. That's a great thing, man. I'm glad to see you're happy. Once again, Lenny, I know you have a lot of support and some sponsors. Give some shout out, some love before we go. I know that Lenny is from the East Coast and he relocated to Wisconsin, so he comes to New Jersey to usually fight on his cards because he still has so much family and friends and a huge following here. And like I said, I know you have a ton of support, so give out some love to your sponsors.
Sure. So I'd like to mention just a couple real quick. Grupi Musicor Melodia. He's my buddy Haiti. He does Albanian parties. He's a singer. He's an awesome guy. Check him out. Also, Pro Gutter Solutions in South Jersey. My buddy Michael Ambrose runs that company. Good people. Parkside Family Restaurant. My sister out here in Wisconsin. Another one is Harry's Diner and Harry's Prohibition Bistro. Those guys are like big fans and supporters of me. They're here in Wisconsin as well. I'm grateful I have supporters in Jersey and in Wisconsin. It's not easy, you know. So I'm grateful of all these people. My father's place, Plymouth Pizzeria, you know. So I'm grateful, man. I can't wait to see you guys. We're gonna have fun. Go 4-0 and take it from there. I think the next Ring of Combat is in November, so that's awesome. It's only a 2-month break instead of 3. And I'm going to do that too, Lord willing, as long as I'm healthy.
That's it. One fight at a time, man. I'm looking forward to the Gorilla coming back to New Jersey. Lenny Rufati, he's gotten into the cage again at Ring Combat, Atlantic City, Tropicana, coming up in a few less than 3 weeks now. You know, September 13th, and this is Lenny's lifestyle, man. He loves it. He works hard. He's good at it. And Lenny, it's always a pleasure talking to you. And your final preparations, weight cut, nothing but the best to you. And I can't wait to see you in Atlantic City, my man.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I'm 31 years old, so I need the ball rolling. While I'm young, I can do this. So you know what I'm talking about. So I like to fight as much as I can. Thank you, brother. I'll see you soon.
My pleasure.